Nicole the Vet. I'm a veterinarian at the Veterinary Hospital of Davidson. I'm a certified herbalist, food therapist, and acupuncturist for pets. I'm here in response to the great grain-free debate. Is it or is it not healthy for our dogs and cats? There's recently been reports out that potentially grain-free food is causing heart disease in animals. And if you go to the FDA reports, you'll see that it's a very small proportion of animals that have been found to have this disease, and they actually haven't really linked it to grain-free diets. So why has it become such a big thing? I think it's an interesting debate between veterinarians who often don't really care about grain content, and then some people that are on the other side of the fence, such as myself, that believe very strongly like grain can be inflammatory. And so I want to tell you my story, and that starts in vet school when I was feeding the three major veterinary formulas or brands of food to my pets. You know, those companies come in, they teach us our nutrition, they give us food to feed our pets, and when I left vet school, I was thinking I was doing a very good job. Until I really started to look at the health of my pets. So I had one cat who was overweight and pre-diabetic. I had another cat who had food allergies, and I had a dog who was only 1 year old and had severe arthritis. And when he went downhill further at 18 months of age, I thought, you know, I need something different for him. I don't feel great about just putting him on pain medicine his whole life. There has to be something better, which really led me down the path of nutrition. And I did start at the time with grain-free diets. Since then, I've really progressed to just high quality food for not only my own pets, but also my patients. And really right now, the foundation of my practice is nutrition. What we are known here for at the Veterinary Hospital of Davidson is very low levels of chronic disease. Whether we reverse that in the second opinion patients that come to see us, or whether we have a foundation that they don't develop those chronic diseases if we're responsible for their wellness care. And so I'm not saying that all grain-free foods are perfect. Certainly nothing's perfect. But I am saying that there is another side to this debate where some of us think that grain-free foods are just fine. So I do think it's important to follow your veterinarian's recommendations. I think that relationship is really important. However, it's been my experience that most veterinarians have only experienced, you know, these three big brands, and they really believe wholeheartedly that those are the best things for your pets. For me, I've done all of those, and I've also done a lot of other diets, including mostly grain-free diets, but also minimally processed foods, such as raw foods, homemade diets, all of those things, which a lot of veterinarians just don't have a lot of experience with. And that's the foundation of our practice. So I'm here to show you my vision of the difference of a grain-free formula versus a formula that the foundation is grains. And I just want you to see the difference and make a decision for yourself on what you think is the best thing for your pet. The reality is we're all trained by the same companies. It's just a matter of what is our experience. And so over 15 years, I have found just great success in the way that we feed our patients here. So let's talk nutrition. So I have here the ingredients from two major pet food companies. Both formulas are similar. They are recommended for adult large breed dogs. One is coming from one of the biggest veterinary brands out there, and the other is coming from what we would consider more of a holistic brand, and yes, it's a grain-free formula. It happens that this is a formula that was not found having anything to do with heart disease in pets. So just to put that out there. And so I'm gonna go through really quick the ingredients for both, and I want you to just use your brain, use your common sense, and tell me what you think is a better choice for an adult large breed dog. So starting here, we have our veterinary recommended formula. And so the first ingredient is chicken meal. So I've got chicken meal here, which is, you know, the better, more nutrient parts of the chicken, but they're dried and ground up. So it's our chicken meal. Next on the list is barley. So we've got barley in here. Next is wheat. Next is whole grain corn. Next is corn gluten meal. Next is sorghum. Flaxseed. And then the very bottom of the list are a few fruits and vegetables. So at the bottom of the list is a smaller amount of the ingredients. So you'll see in here, there's broccoli, carrots, apple, and cranberries. Now, if you don't know this, what happens is once they put all the ingredients in this big vat, they put a multivitamin in. So when you see lots of other words, some of them can be chemicals, so you have to be careful, but a lot of times they're just putting a multivitamin mix in. And that's a well-balanced formula for your dog. Now, the other food that we would recommend in contrast to this, which some would consider more of a holistic diet, it's also grain-free. I'm gonna go through the ingredients in that food. So the first is chicken. So there's actually a roasted chicken in there. The next ingredient is that chicken meal. So chicken meal, again, being dried, broken down chicken. Next is potato. After that, we have peas. We have flaxseed, which you saw in the other food. We have tomato. Kale. Broccoli. Carrots. Apples. And sweet potato. Now, like the other formula, they're also going to put a multivitamin in. So, if you couldn't see the ingredients separately, I'm going to show you what the bowl looks like for the two different foods. So this would be the food recommended by veterinarians. So mostly grain, a little bit of chicken meal, and a little bit of vegetables, and also a multivitamin to balance it out. This is the food that we would recommend here in our office. So again, chicken, vegetables, fruit, a little bit of flaxseed, and a multivitamin. So I don't know about you, but if I wanted to keep myself healthy, I would certainly have been programmed to choose whole foods, right? So if I want to keep my animals healthy, I don't think we can deny the fact that one may cause greater health than the other. One may be more inflammatory than the other. So I don't think these two foods are equal. And so what we have done in our practice is we've chosen to use diets that are using more of this as ingredients as opposed to this. So the choice is yours, and what I always tell people is I want people to be comfortable with what they're doing. And so there's nothing wrong with this food. This is recommended by many veterinarians across America. But this certainly would be something, if I wanted to stay healthy and wanted my animals to stay healthy, would be more consistent with what we would recommend. Hopefully all of this makes sense, but in the end, all these good ingredients also get heated and pressurized at very high levels to make this highly processed kibble. If you want to know more about processed kibble versus home-cooked, raw, and other minimally processed foods, go to the next video on our YouTube channel, which is going to cover these topics. Also, if you want to know more about the FDA reports regarding heart disease and grain-free foods, I have a 1-hour webinar available on my Facebook, Instagram, and my website at Nicole the Vet. We hope to see you there. Let me know what you think.